Welcome all of you here in this series, in this course, in this batch, where we will cover everything about the recently notified marked IB Security Assistant notification. We'll be covering each and every detail in this session, including the basics, also the strategy, having the overview first, and what should be the key points we must consider during our preparation and in between the preparation also, emphasizing not just tier 1 but also tier 2 and tier 3 completely. So welcome all of you watching it live or later. Let's start the session now. Would love to mention a lot of things here, but step by step. Okay, I can be out of slide because I shouldn't miss any information precisely, so would love to mark. You know, IB has announced almost 5,000 vacancies for security assistant or executive positions. And this year, to be honest, it is one of the largest recruitment drives they have. If I talk about the course, first of all, let me welcome all of you and provide enough motivation. Welcome to this IB Security Assistant 2025 Complete English course. This recruitment represents an opportunity, and since it is IB, so would love to say without a doubt, undoubtedly, that an exceptional opportunity for those students who are just 10th pass candidates. They can join India's premier intelligence agency with salary ranging from 21,000 to 69,000. This position offers both job security in a prestige organization and career growth in the intelligence services. If I talk about the learning objectives, we will master all English topics covered in the IB Security Assistant syllabus. We will develop effective exam strategies for tier 1, for tier 2 and tier 3. We will have that confidence, we will build that in translation skills for the descriptive test, and we will, during the process in the course of time, achieve the accuracy, precision needed to clear the negative marking challenge and score up to the mark. On the very first slide, if I frame success or mark the success framework, then we follow this inductive deductive approach. What is that? Generally, when we learn something through practical examples, we remember that for a long time. Things that are mugged up, we easily forget them. So during process, we will have this inductive deductive approach. That means we will discuss things with practical examples possible. I honestly teach with practical examples so that we can relate to the common environment also, and we can remember them for a long time before introducing any grammar rule. And that's a proven method, pretty effective for any competitive examination. We will utilize that here also, building conceptual clarity through real applications. Okay, if anybody has any objection, feel free to say in any of the slides here. If I go ahead, considering all these things, the salary, number of vacancies, this prestigious organization, and everything out here, if I put the overview again, then complete exam structure is, it has 3 distinct tiers. Tier 1 with 5 sections: English, GA, GS, Reasoning, APT, 100 questions, 60 minutes, so somehow 35 seconds each question. If we go in detail, the time pressure is there. As I stated, we have 60 minutes for those 100 questions. Some 35 minutes, yes, per question. Language requirement out there is the language of knowledge of local language and dialect, which is mandatory. Tier 1 is qualifying in nature and also a merit determining stage. And yes, such examinations, I think every competitive examination has a negative marking of 1 upon 4 in general. So for sure, we get 1 mark for the correct answer, but 0.25 marks are deducted for each incorrect answer also. I repeat, 60 minutes, 100 questions, 5 sections in tier 1 and total 3 sections, total 3 tiers, tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. Let's see them this way. So yes, if I basically say our examination consists of 3 tiers, CBT first, objective type questions, 60 minutes, 100 marks, qualifying and merit also. Then comes the descriptive part, which is also of 60 minutes with 50 marks we will discuss in detail, which is qualifying in nature. And then comes the interview called the personality test. Duration varies, honestly. Marks are 50 and that justifies the final selection of hours. If we discuss tier 1 in detail, then we have 5 sections as stated: GA, English, GS, Quants, and Reasoning. 20 questions each, 20 marks each, with key emphasis focus areas in GA, current affairs and government schemes, because you're going to work in such an organization. When it comes to English, we will see things in detail in this session also, but still at a glance, we have grammar, on which error detection, sentence improvement, voice, narration are based. We have vocabulary, on which one words, idiom phrases, antonyms, synonyms, spell check are based, I should say, and comprehension, RC, close test, parasymbols, and things like that. Okay, general studies, history, geography, polity, science, quants, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, reasoning, logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, the verbal reasoning also. These are the key focus areas. That doesn't define that only these will be asked. Syllabus varies. Now see, the slides are curated so precisely. If you look at them, you get every single detail, overview and strategy also. See the first one. English syllabus is comprehensive, carries 20 marks and covers 3 main categories. If I say vocabulary has some 40% weightage, because we get antonyms, synonyms, one words, idiom phrases, spell check, and sometimes those homonyms, paronyms and analogies also, word relation patterns. When it comes to grammar, it holds some 35% weightage, includes error spotting. I think for each and every examination we have come across error detection, identifying grammatical mistakes in sentences. Sentence improvement also, where some part of the sentence is highlighted. We have to pick the most appropriate one out there that can improve or replace the given section. Fill in the blanks. Actually, it includes vocabulary also, because in order to fill a word out there, must be grammatically correct, must be contextually correct also, and must be the proper word to fill that blank. So it includes vocabulary also. Active and passive, direct and indirect, and tenses, generally SVA we can call the subject-verb agreement. When it comes to the comprehension skills, 25% weightage I should say. Okay, we may come across, I would say here, RC, we may come across, usually they don't ask, but considering things which are changing every single day, I hope you understand my point. We will go through a couple of them so that at least if we come across something new, we will have a clear idea what's that, at least for practice. Close test. They don't usually ask, but we will go through that. Parasymbols are asked, and sentence formation also. sometimes in the sense of filler, and paragraph completion also in the sense of filler in general. So I'll put an exclamatory mark on RC and close test that we usually don't come across, but we will still have them in case they emphasize. Okay. Apart from these two, we have all these. So at a glance, if I say we have vocabulary, grammar, and this comprehension part, at least for parajumbles, we have to consider. Next. If we go in detail, the topic-wise question distribution and analyze them based on previous year trends, we come across this. Vocabulary based questions, and they are pretty high scoring, to be honest. We have grammar based questions, require conceptual clarity, but they are the general ones. Why I'm saying they are predictable? Because generally they ask questions from, say, articles. If I say they ask questions from verb like singular subject, he goes to school, not go to school, and such, and some common tactics of English grammar. So they are predictable, I would definitely say, need not emphasize, but they can ask anything. Sometimes we come across good variations and such. This is just for an example. For example, articles, calling them predictable. We know them. If I talk about reading based things like RC, we are given RC with 4 to 5 questions that they don't ask in general, but I repeat, maturity is considering the changes that we are witnessing with the new vendor and SSC examinations. We will have a couple of classes, at least an overview. If we come across that, we'll be comfortable. We will adapt ourselves of the changes in case they are there. So, concluding things, if I say grammar, 6 to 8 questions, vocabulary 5 to 7 questions, and comprehension 4 to 5 questions also. Sometimes they give us ask the transformation of sentences also, that we will discuss, 3 to 4 questions also. Level is always easy to moderate. Once in a while we may come across a difficult question, but generally the level is easy to moderate. Now see this. If I talk about the study plan, then we can have phase-wise study, considering phase 1 first, then phase 2, the descriptive, and phase 3, the interview. Phase 1, building your foundation. You can have a daily schedule of 2 hours dedicated only and only for English, because it will help you here, it will help you here also. So English, in my opinion, deserves special attention. You can have a session in the morning, you can have a session in the evening, like as per your convenience, but still in general, in the morning you can go through the grammar concepts or vocabulary as per your convenience. In the evening, you can have a different section like grammar in the morning, vocab in the evening. And please make some weekly targets also. Like this week, I will finish at least 3 topics like noun, pronoun, and adjective. Next week, I have to finish at least, say, 500 one words. Next week, I'll finish 500 idiom phrases, at least 250, 300 and such and such. When it comes to phase 2, we can go through the skill development process, focusing areas of RC. Practice 50 questions from previous year papers will be enough in my opinion. Can go through a mock test also, one full English section test weekly. And yes, do have this error analysis. If I honestly say, in today's generation, we have n number of PDFs in our phone, n number of PDFs in this Telegram group, that Telegram group, but I think there should be one diary, notes, whatever you say, of yourself also, because before the examination I cannot read all those 500 PDFs I have in a Telegram group, in my phone, in my laptop and such. I cannot read 500 PDFs before the examination. But If I have prepared my notes before the examination during last 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, I can just quickly go through them. They are written by me, so it will have more clarity and I can go through those important points that I am confused in, I was confused in, I must remember before the examination, they are highly repeated and such. So I suggest you prepare some handwritten notes of yours that you are going to refer to when you come across the examination, quite before the examination, for revision. Okay. And yes, in the phase 3, you are all ready for the examination. You can go through the speed building now, complete those 12 questions in, I wrote somewhere, just 8 to 12 minutes, not 12, 8 to 12 minutes. Accuracy should be 85% because less than 80% accuracy gives us minus marking and that hinders our overall result. You can go for translation practice, some passage translation, and final revision before the examination, grammar, vocabulary, and such. So as per your convenience, make the changes you require, but at least divide in 3 sections. First of all, building the foundation, then getting that speed, and then getting that accuracy. If I talk about practice methodology, we can say you can make some daily target. Okay, I cannot say that everything is applicable for every student because not all are equal. I repeat, not all are equal. Everybody is not the same, but still, in general, if I talk about a random student, for example, who is just moderate level or even has started, can go through first of all the daily target. I will finish some 50 questions today, maybe in the miscellaneous manner, maybe of grammar, maybe of vocabulary, such. Then have some weekly target, like I'll be getting 350 questions this week with detailed solutions so that I'll learn something, I will practice things both ways and maintain the accuracy goal also. So before attempting speed, you must have at least 80 to 85% accuracy, if possible 90%, which will help you a lot in the examination. Considering all these things, time cannot be left alone. Time management is equally important as intelligence in examinations. Practice section-wise timing of 8 to 12 minutes for those 20 questions in English. You can decide accordingly for maths, for say GA, for GS, for reasoning, but in English I suggest 8 minutes or a max of 12 minutes will be more than sufficient. For tier 2, you can practice 2 to 300 word passages on a daily basis. Okay, since you know we need some local language there, yes, local language is mandatory as mentioned in the notification, dialects also. You can focus on bi-directional translation. That means English to that local language translation and vice versa, from that local language to English. If I talk about the focus areas of topics, have government terminology, because we'll be working in such an organization, so such jargons and such are quite important. Have some official language patterns. Not every line we read on Google, WhatsApp, Instagram works in formal contexts. So try to learn the official language patterns, not the casual ones we speak, say, read on WhatsApp and Instagram. Time management is equally important. I've said that a number of times and say that in every session. Complete the translation within the allocated time. You can have some more strategies like sequence strategy. Attempt those familiar topics first, because everyone, okay, for example, I'm a teacher of English. If I appear in any examination, for sure I'll be starting with English first so that I can minimize the number of the time and maximize the number of questions. In 3 to 4 minutes I'll finish English, and it'll help me boost my confidence. Like in 3 to 4 minutes, I finished 20 questions. Now I have some 55 minutes and just 80 questions are required. So please follow the familiar topics first or as per your convenience, but yes, majority does so. Time allocation. Remember, each and every time you attempt a question, you generally get 30 to 35 seconds per question. If you are not able to solve the question, if that's one or a couple of such, kindly skip them or save for review and watch them later. Don't stay there because it'll affect the other questions also. There may be some easy peasy questions in the end and you left them. That'll be disaster. Guessing strategy is pretty important in examinations. If I am new to you, then all okay, most welcome from my side. I'm one of the teachers here at Oliveboard. But if you know me, n number of times it happens, I have shown in the classes during practice also, that n number of times it happens for a cloze test, for an antonym, for a synonym, for some idiom phrase also, elimination works. Okay, voice and narration work on elimination. What is that? Just a quick glance on each and every day we will practice elimination. Like I'm asked a question, what should be the appropriate antonym for this? I read the options. 3 of them have nearly the same meaning. So if this is true, in case I do not know the original word, that is also true. This is also true because all of these are in the same direction. They mean the same. That's the odd one out. Should be the antonym or the synonym of the word given. It works quite a lot. So elimination works like in voice. You are given a statement in past indefinite. And the options has, can, will, say, is, am, are, and was, were. No problem. 5 options. That was V2. V2 can be transformed into was and were. Has, can, will, is cannot be there in the past tense. So in place of picking answers wherever possible, please eliminate the answers first. They help a lot and they help us getting that accuracy also. Review your time. Keep 2 to 3 minutes finally for the final review, so that in the end you can just have a quick glance on all the questions you have done. And in case there is something, because it happens, not everybody is the same. Sir, I actually clicked C in place of B. I knew the answer, but I don't know, I clicked C in place of D and that went bad. So please review all the questions before you finally submit. Okay, for this, we need to save time that we can with regular practice and enough practice, if I say. Negative marking is also there. We'll have to manage that. Always remember, accuracy must be there over speed. We must prefer accuracy over speed. Never guess or click unless you can eliminate at least 2 options. If you can eliminate 2 plus or 3 options, you have the answer for sure. But please, if you just know one of them, please don't answer. May cost us a lot. If you have the confidence that I think this should be the answer, for sure I'm 99% correct, you may go for it. But if you're not so sure, please avoid answering, because not always do we need to answer everything. Sometimes we skip things in order to be precise, maintain the accuracy, and save ourselves from the negative marking deduction. Yes, strategic skipping. Skip those time-consuming comprehension questions in, say, reasoning, in maths, if you are short on time. If you save time, you can attempt those later. Final check. Quite important. Before you submit, do have a final check. You can review those marked for review also for correction. So making daily targets, to weekly targets, to the accuracy goal, to the time management, to that translation, the bilingual one, to the sequence and everything, negative marking also. We have to take care of all the things. Obviously, we'll be working in IB. Say, putting an example, we'll be working in income tax department in MEA, Ministry of External Affairs. I can't be a lazy guy if I wish to work in such a prestigious environment or organization or company or such. So please include those habits firsthand. Okay, that's a quick Q&A. You can have a look at this. In 1 minute, I go ahead. I'm sure you can read this. Is the English section really as important as the other sections? It's more important because in tier 2, in tier 3, we can't speak in mathematics or GS or reasoning, but we can speak in English. So that's mandatory. Descriptive English needs English. Yes, English in tier 1 carries equal weightage and it determines your final selection due to its high scoring potential for well-prepared candidates. That means in tier 1 also we can make a difference. If we are good at English, in tier 1 also we can make a difference. For sure in tier 2 and tier 3 we need English desperately. How much time should I dedicate to English daily? Since we have 5 subjects, in case we dedicate 2 hours daily to English, 5 into 2, 10 hours will be a sufficient workload that you can exert on a daily basis to improve all the sections collectively. So I suggest yes, 2 or a max of 2.5 hours are sufficient. 2 hours daily during initial preparation, reducing to 1 hour during the final revision phase. What's the minimum accuracy needed to clear English section? At least 15 questions must be correct with some 85% accuracy to ensure positive contribution to the overall score. I don't think so there should be any other question. If you have, I'm looking at the comments, you can drop. I'll be happy to answer them. Some more slides. In the upcoming sessions, we will start with the foundation first, English grammar, parts of speech, structure of sentences. We'll have those 8 parts of speech and mixed questions from them. We'll analyze sentence structure and techniques. We'll have common error detection questions, and we'll have practice sessions on each one of them. If you wish to follow some assignment till the upcoming session, make some reading habit or task. Read one editorial from a newspaper on a daily basis, which will help you in GA, in your reading, consequently will help you in writing because you better know sentence structure, sentence framing. Like if I read newspaper, The Hindu, Indian Express on a daily basis, I know, whoa, we can write a sentence this way also. We can use inversion. We can use, say, conditional clauses, this. You know how to frame sentences better. So it all depends upon your learning. Going through web series will help us in pronunciation, but may not help us in formal contexts. Newspapers are mostly formal. Vocabulary building, at least start with some 20 new words daily, and not just the meaning of the words, but also their usage. In case of descriptive writing, if I do not know how to use a word, What about the part of speech like that's a noun should be the subject, that's a verb should define the subject, okay, that should be an adjective and such, we may not be able to utilize or use that word. It's not going to be the interview of English like what about the part of speech? If you answer that, you'll get selected. You must be able to use that, identify that practically. So we must know the meaning and the usage also. Revise grammar at regular intervals and follow those practice sets, starting with the PYQs first, previous year papers and such. Okay, some more motivation till this is the last slide. And success mantra. Remember on the very first slide I did mention like almost 5,000 vacancies. We don't usually come across that number because this department doesn't offer just the job security but the honor of serving the nation's intelligence apparatus. And number of vacancies are available. Your dedication and preparation will make the difference. Success formula is quite simple these days because of huge amount of competition. You maintain the consistency, you have a proper strategy, and with proper practice, we are successful. Not in just this examination, but that and every single one. So you go through interviews of toppers, you will find out, and I'm sure you know, everyone knows, every successful candidate started where we are today. It all starts with a zero. Your commitment to this structured preparation approach combined with regular practice and conceptual clarity will position you among the selected candidates. Words are quite meaningful. I read again. Every successful candidate started where you are today. Now, your commitment to this structured preparation approach combined with regular practice, consistency, perseverance with conceptual clarity will position you among the selected candidates. Stay motivated, stay cool, calm, composed, focused, and let's begin this journey towards IB Security Assistant and let's make it successful. So far, this session was based on the latest IB Security Assistant 2025 notification and has the proven teaching methodologies for competitive exam preparation, including time management, minus marking, this section, that section for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. We will have regular updates because additional information will be there and we will have it. If you have any question, you are free to ask. Now we head on to some practice questions from PYQs. This is, if I'm not wrong, 2023, and if I'm not wrong, March 2023, the PYQ. I request you to answer and we will go ahead then. Please answer. Thank you. Thank you. No for the second one, no problem. Okay, this terminal is blank space famous terminal in the world. In the world, and with the superlative, I remember not all are best, all and best, all the best. In the superlative degree, we follow the definite article the. So the most important and such. Okay, inventory is a list of items. In the evening while coming from the office, my mother told me to bring this, and that. Okay, I'll bring all them. So that may be a list of items I will visit if I go to Darjeeling, but that journey will be incomplete if I don't go to a tea plantation. So as a list, we can say this is included in that list. Question says select the most appropriate option that can substitute the underlined segment. So any other option defining something like if I go to Darjeeling and I don't visit this tea plantation, that will be index is fine, but indexing is done as per the alphabetical order, say A to Z and such. Record may be a record is a general word, maybe for anything, for recording also. So not that appropriate. Itinerary, if you do not know, is the detailed plan of a journey. For a journey. Hey, you are going to Goa? Listen, man. If you don't go to that beach, please go to that beach. Your journey will be incomplete if you don't go to that beach and such. Just putting an example. So if you go to Darjeeling, the journey will be incomplete if you don't include this tea plantation in that. So itinerary is actually the detailed plan of one's journey. And yes, Darjeeling, Goa, if you are going there, we should also go there and such. So that is correct, but that is slightly better. Improvement, substitution. Exactly. This story is blank space, the partition of India and Pakistan. To shows destination. At shows a fixed position. For shows the purpose. About, it's all about, yes, the topic of discussion. Perfect. Bobby, um, hey, I didn't know you can play this mouth organ. Papa, I'm going there. Mummy, I would love to have this and that and such. Semicolon introduces clauses. It is generally used for some dependent independent, no problem, clauses. Colon defines that further, or that putting that additional information further in that you define, like I went there and I found these points, colon, and then going ahead. Dash is for additional information, like a recent report from the Hindu dash, the name of the report, the tricolors of this and that, and then going ahead. When we address someone, when we talk to someone, hey, yes, talking to you, you come here, come. We use comma to address someone. So, Bobby, I did not know you can play this. Absolutely. Great. And next. Thank you. Exactly. Once I went for a wedding with my cousins to the neighboring village. You have a time expression here. Another statement referring to this time expression is just see, because in none of these now we have a time expression. Now, it's talking about a wedding. It is also talking about a wedding. Done. Now, both the statements left, B and D, are defining that enjoyment. We, we children enjoyed thoroughly. We would eat. It doesn't define a wedding. It defines enjoyment. We would play. It doesn't define an enjoyment. It defines, it doesn't define a wedding. It defines enjoyment. We would love the freedom. It doesn't define the wedding. It defines the enjoyment. So, yep, for sure. A will start as available in all options. C will carry forward because it defines the wedding. And now B, we enjoyed quite a lot. We did this, we did that, and such. A, C, B, D. The same instructions, substitute. We have constructed a rough estimate of this and that project. Okay. Construct we use for building and all, so building, construction, not that appropriate here. We have manufactured, you manufacture a product, the concrete noun. Here we are talking about some project, and that to the estimate of the project. I think some 50,000 rupees will be sufficient for this project and such. So that cannot be constructed. No, it cannot be manufactured, nor can we build it, because that's not a building that can be built. So no, yes, preparing, we can prepare for the examinations also. We do prepare for the examinations, and that's the abstract sense required. So estimation, not for the manufacturing. For building, preparing, yes. Construction, no, 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 no. Thank you for the response. Great. Thank you. Superb. Incorrectly spelled, sorry. Actor, fine. Author, sailor. Oh, waiter is OR? No, it's ER. He was shocked. I'm quite surprised to see you here. I'm happy to see you here. I'm sorry to say that. Generally, adjectives take an infinitive. I was surprised to see that infinitive, first of all. Nope, nope. Continuity out there. Nope, just one. And for confirmation, With objects, we use with. When we do something, we are the doers. We take by. It was done by me, by him, by mistake. But for the objects, with the help of which something is done, we use with. With a knife, with a sword, with a hammer, with an axe, and such. Perfect. Great answers from everybody here. That's highlighted. Ninth one is different. But no idea to both of you. Milky Way is not the universe because universe is everything. Uni, just one. Milky Way particularly is our galaxy. So that is actually no substitution required. Milky Way, if we check, the Milky Way is not the universe, it's our galaxy. Exactly. Okay. So that's galaxy and it's all correct. Now universe, fine, but Milky Way is not the universe. Creation, cosmos, nothing such. Culture, murmur, puncture, sculpture, it has an E at the end. Impressive. Thank you. Twelfth option 3 will be a bit audible. All of you are correct. Thank you for your presence. Thank you so much for your presence. Your doubts are welcome. But after say, comma will be horrible because you need to say something or about something. No place or room for comma there. Better answer. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. She sat next to her mother. Infinitives define reason. Why did you go there? Why did you go there? I went there to see you. In order to see you. In order to see you. So I woke up early today in order to get the first train and reach the office on time. I got the first train to reach the office on time. Infinitives define reason. Holding is something that you are doing at the time. The ing, the participle form, like I saw him coming. I saw him and he was coming and such. Now, she sat next to her mother. Why? To hold her doll tightly in her arms. I don't think so. That should be the reason why she sat next to her mother. So, not that appropriate. Okay. She said to her mother, we have a subject, we have a verb, we have an object, so we can't have a finite verb. We are supposed to have a non-finite verb. V2 impossible, V1 impossible. Just ing or third form or infinitives are possible. Ing the most appropriate, doing something. She was sitting next to her mother and she was holding a doll in her arms and such. Perfect. Now the punctuation's here. Well, um I think we should go there. So that's an adverb, not the part of sentence completely, the subject or modifying the subject. So there should be a comma after that. The first one went wrong. There should be a comma. You can't use all we've got to say what? Either finish the sentence or drop the comma out there. Well, that's all I've got to say about Mars. But that's not an interrogative statement, so no question mark needed. Yes. If you're saying something, narrating something, you know, indirect narration, we put the narration in inverted commas. No problem. You can drop the inverted commas, no problem. But this comma here in C, this question mark in D, and no comma in A make them wrong. Well, that's all I've got to say about Mars. Perfect. Full stop. Inverted commas, comma, all correct. Thank you for the response, everybody here. Great. Please answer. The next one, waiting for your answers. Great. Thank you. And next? Exactly. Antique shop will be a good place to see old clocks. If we can see old clocks in just one shop, we can make that definite. The antique shop, just one. The Kapil Sharma show, the Modi government, the Virat Kohli team. Fine, just one international team, just one national government, central government, just one show, quite definite, fine. But yesterday, I went to a mall. No one mall is there in the world, not just one. So an antique shop, a shop will be a great place, vowel sound and perfect. Now, absolute is not yielding or surrendering, is not limited, should be the antonym then, meaning restricted, no, 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 complete, absolutely, completely. And that's a good one, 15th. By and large. Quick. Impressive. Exactly. Okay, time's up. I wanted to show something that I will. Goes. Okay, we can have at least one more slide. By and large. That means it covers things completely in that way. At some future time, no. Large. Certainly not that appropriate. On the contrary, no, that's not the meaning. On the whole, by and large. Remember, bypass. So if something covers, that is on the whole. And singular subject without an SES is impossible. Father go, no. He is going, he has gone, he goes, all are correct. But sentence says every single day, simple present or present indefinite. He goes to school. You have a look. I want to show you something and then we conclude the session here. Would love to see you on the next turn. Great. Okay, I'll finish things here. Time's up. The whole story narrated by the girl was accurate, but the antonym of accurate should be false. Okay, before I finish things, let me show you something quite beneficial for all of you here. Have a look. Oh. Sorry for the mismatch. Oh God. See, I'm sure it should be visible now. Yes, it is. So before I leave, thank you so much for your presence. Hello, Manish. Okay, before I leave, would love to show you something. I'm sure it's quite clearly visible. Previous year's IB, ACIO, essay topics for Tier 2 descriptive section. If you are one of them appearing in IB, grab it. Okay, so see you pretty soon in the upcoming classes in this batch, particularly for IB Security Assistant. Yes, you are a part of this batch and would love to see you. Yes. Okay. Finishing things now. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. All of you here. Yep. See you in a minute. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Manish, and all of you here.